Ever since the day I turned 16, my entire life revolved around having access to a car. I grew up actually outside a small town called Curran, Ontario, population 400. And honestly, we were 10 kilometers in any direction from any form of restaurant, any store, anything that's entertaining for a teenager. So my parents' vehicle was really key to my social life. And now, as an adult, my life still revolves around car. I needed to commute to and from work. I needed to bring the kids to music lessons or soccer practice. And honestly, I needed to visit friends and family here and outside the city. So I've only really driven gas-powered vehicles, but with this worldwide push to reduce our carbon footprint, I want to do my due diligence and really learn as much as I can about these vehicles. I want to know, are they really green? Are they safe? Are they reliable? How do they charge? And all that stuff. So I have this friend, his name is Yves Madore, and he is a zero emissions vehicle expert at Natural Resources Canada. Hopefully he can tell us why these electric vehicles and these zero emission vehicles are so great. So let's do it. Yves, how's it going?
Joel, very well, and you?
Very good, very good. Thank you so much for helping us out with this.
My pleasure.
So, okay, this is an electric vehicle.
Yeah, it's a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. There's a big battery in the back giving me electric-only range, and then there's a gas motor also inside that on longer trips can turn on, or when I run out of electric range can turn on and drive me the rest of the way.
So it's like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so this is a hybrid. There are different types of electric vehicles, right?
Yeah, so the first thing you'll notice is the green plate,
Okay.
which means I can drive on high occupancy lanes even though I'd be a single occupant.
And you can drive 150 in the fast lane.
No, I'll still get pulled over for that. And then on the
That's
side
too bad.
here, there's the charging port. This is where I can charge. So that's the big difference between like a conventional hybrid vehicle. So those vehicles have smaller batteries, and the batteries are there to help the gas motor. Here, the batteries actually in this vehicle, in the plug-in hybrid, they'll actually drive the vehicle, right? And then the gas motor, it acts as a generator, and it'll recharge the batteries and then allow you to go further.
Oh,
and then
wow.
they're full EVs, so much bigger battery, no gas motor, and a lot longer range of electric only.
Okay. So how does it feel to drive an electric vehicle like this one?
I think it feels just like a normal car,
Okay.
only a lot quieter. But why don't we take it for a spin and you tell me?
Are you actually going to let me drive your car?
Absolutely, I think you
Really?
should. Yeah,
That's
let's
awesome.
go.
You're a brave man.
I got insurance.
Oh, that's good to know. Oh wow, it's nice and clean in here.
Thanks. I like to take care of my toys.
That's good, that's good.
Okay, so foot on the brake,
Okay,
and we're gonna push the start button.
okay.
Can turn the transmission dial to D for drive.
Oh, it's a dial.
Yeah, it's a little
Okay.
turning dial.
Okay, awesome, let's go. Wow, it's so quiet, it's crazy.
That's the first thing that people really catch on to is no quiet, and there's no vibration from the internal combustion engine or anything like that.
Whoa.
Braking,
Okay.
it'll take you about a minute to get used to, and that's just because most of the decelerating on this vehicle is done with the regenerative braking.
Okay.
When you're slowing down, when you're coasting to decelerate, as you're pushing on the brake, then that energy is transformed to electricity and is used to recharge the batteries.
Okay.
And actually, one of the interesting things is once you come to a complete stop, you get a rating on your braking.
Wow.
So 91% there was your braking score. So
that's an A+.
that's an A+.
Okay.
But you're going to decrease my stats a little bit. But
Really?
what you want to do is coast as much as possible.
Okay.
Right?
And where do you rank right now?
I haven't actually checked in a while. It's one of these
Okay.
things where, like, when I get together with my dad, I grew up a car guy. I grew up around cars. Not so long ago, it was, well, okay, how quickly can this vehicle accelerate? And now we're sort of talking about something different. We're talking about our eco braking score and how much range we were able to get on our EVs and everything else. So that's sort of what I use the app for.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, you'll be happy to know that I just got a 100 100% on that last one.
That's
so
good. That's good.
There's no way to go but down right now.
There's or just maintain.
100%. Come on, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm already competitive, and it's been like a minute.
It's pretty fun. I like doing it.
So for this vehicle, seeing as it's a hybrid, how much do you get purely from the electrical power?
So this is a plug-in hybrid. Pure electric, the EnerGuide rating range is 35 kilometers.
Okay.
Now that varies a lot depending on your driving behavior. A little bit, how you drive. Some impact depending on temperature and the use of climate. If it's like minus 30 degrees and it's really cold outside, I'm getting about 16 kilometers of electric only range, just because of the amount of electricity that it takes to keep the cabin warm. But in the summer, I can extend that to about 50 kilometers, right? When I'm not using the battery's electricity to heat the cabin.
Okay.
Now the good news is with this electric car, I can set it so that the cabin is warm by the time I leave the house in the morning.
Really?
So yes, and then I can say, okay, 7:15 a.m. every morning, the cabin is at 21 degrees by the time I get into the car, and that's not depleting the battery's range because I'm plugged in at home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a huge advantage. So with the infrastructure that we have right now, like, could we drive from like Ottawa to, I don't know, like Victoria right now, where it's actually much warmer than it is now?
Yeah.
Can we drive there on mostly electric?
There's a lot of stories online about people who have done cross-country trips on electric vehicles. One of the government's commitments was to establish a coast-to-coast network of fast chargers. So you're seeing those pop up. We also have a map on the Natural Resources Canada website that has all that, so you can plan your trip. You can say, okay, I'm going from this destination to this destination, and see all the charging stations in between that and plan your trip accordingly. So absolutely, for long trips, for short trips, you drive these like you drive a normal car.
So how does the hybrid look under the hood compared to an internal combustion engine? Like, where's the battery? How is this different?
Why don't we go visit our friends at Transport Canada?
Okay.
And pop the hood and look underneath maybe and show you some batteries and what they look like.
That sounds awesome. Let's go.
Let's do that.
Oh, you gotta have to tell me where to go though.
Okay. Well, let's see.
Oh, this is a nice facility. And just so you know, that scratch was there.
So you arrive home.
It's okay, we're home.
Often what people do when they get home is they take their cell phone out and they charge it. Well, it's just the same thing with this car. So when you buy an EV, it'll come with its own charger.
Okay.
So this is what you call a level 1 charger because it uses just a standard wall plug. We walk over, open up the charging port. Ooh. And so this is a standard. We can go look at any of these EVs here and they'll have a plug like this. Tesla is a bit different, but even with Tesla, they have an adapter so that they can use these kinds of plugs. Yeah. So we plug it in here like this, and then we'll come to the wall here and plug it in. So then you get a green light saying that yes, the vehicle is charging. Over on the side here, if you see the LEDs saying, okay, yes, we're charging now. The more LED lights that you see, the more fully charged that it is.
So if the car is parked in your driveway in your garage, you can just take a look and see how.
Take a look, you can open your app and it'll tell you as well. So on level 1, it can take, for this car, 5 hours to go from fully depleted to fully charged.
Which is fine if you're at home.
We're at the Transport Canada facility and they have some level 2 chargers. So essentially we can charge twice as fast. Right here on the wall, we've got the unit. You can install one of these at your home. It's not a big, it's just that size.
Okay.
So we'll plug this one in now and basically charge in half the time. And most of the charging is done at home overnight, so you don't even think about it. And then you don't have to go to gas stations anymore.
That's true, because you leave with a full charge every day.
Leave with a full charge every day.
Okay. So now that we're charging, I'm really curious to see what's under the hood, or what's different about an EV or a hybrid.
I think the first thing to start is the batteries, right? Yeah. For this vehicle, the batteries are in the trunk.
Okay.
You don't really see much except that there's a little less space in the trunk
Yeah,
of this vehicle than there is in a regular Fusion.
Okay.
But if we want to go to the front of the hood, maybe I can
Yeah.
show you what it looks like underneath there. It just opens up like a regular hood. Anything that is orange, that's the high tension stuff. So that's important because you know, if you're a first responder, if ever you have to do something like an extraction or something like that, they know not to touch these things. So that's the control module that takes care of everything. It's the one that does the planning, okay, what are you going to use, how are you going to use it. This is a plug-in again, plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, so there is a gasoline motor and there's an electric motor underneath, and then in between them there's your transmissions. But otherwise, it just looks like a normal car. You don't really notice any different. Still have, you know, your windshield washer fluid.
Well, that's very important.
And everything else that you normally have when you open up a vehicle hood.
Okay, so we are at Transport Canada right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this
Our
is
friends.
this is a very big garage. What is this place really?
Yes, we can see over here, they've got a few electric vehicles. We've got a fuel cell electric vehicle.
Fuel cell, what does that mean?
It means that basically instead of charging batteries, essentially what that car does is it's producing its electricity on board with that fuel cell. So it uses hydrogen to create electricity, to go into some batteries and then power the vehicle.
To refuel it, you just add more hydrogen?
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
So yeah, more and more hydrogen fueling stations are coming online.
Okay.
There's one in Quebec City right now, and so yeah, you just fill it up almost like a normal vehicle.
So this is like very brand new technology, right?
The fuel cell has been around for a long time, but for seeing vehicles on the road being tested, it is relatively new.
So hydrogen, is that safe?
That's a great question, right? And even when it comes down to electric vehicles, you know, you've got big batteries in the back. Are they safe and everything? And the tank is very well constructed. It is very safe. And we can't forget that, hey, you know what? Every gasoline vehicle out there has a big tank with gasoline in it, and it's a plastic tank. You know, it's you know, all these vehicles have passed crash testing and have proven to be worthy for our roads in Canada.
It's good. So that's an EV, right?
That's a full electric vehicle, yeah.
You can't help but notice it's on the hoist. Do you think our friends at Transport Canada would mind if we, you know, raise it up and take a look?
I don't think they'll mind.
No? Yeah, let's see what happens.
All right. You brought your steel-toe boots, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So these are some really cool features that we're going to see here underneath the vehicle.
Whoa.
Yeah, right? You see how it's all flat and covered here?
Yeah.
So this is aerodynamics, right?
Oh.
So you know, you don't have to leave things open like a big exhaust system or something like that, right? Where heat is an issue. I wonder if we can look at now. Yeah, these coil springs are pretty normal, but so on my vehicle, for example, the coil springs are a little bit thicker, and even you'll notice this sway bar here is a lot thicker on my car because the batteries are in the back. On this vehicle, the batteries must be along the flat, so it distributes the weight a little bit better. But you know, we were talking about some of the differences. Depending on where the batteries are, might include some bigger suspension components.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Yves.
Thank you. See you in episode 2.
Sounds good. So if you're watching this on YouTube, check out the links in the description below. Do the usual, like, subscribe, leave a comment, share your experiences about EVs because I want to learn more about electric vehicles. I'd like to thank our friends at Transport Canada for letting us film in this great location, and make sure to subscribe so you tune in for episode 2.